Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you can see, I am barefaced and everything, and I'm breaking out, little redness in some areas, but I was really stuck between doing a daily makeup routine, like an updated one, or doing this, which is an updated kind of foundation routine. I've never really done one of these, and this is just like an in-depth of what I've been doing and what I will be doing throughout these colder and drier months, just because I think it's a little different than what I would do from the hotter months. This is just an in-depth kind of foundation routine, what I will be doing throughout these drier months. So let's just hop right into the video. You obviously want to wash your hands, and I do. I wash my hands maybe about twice before I start applying stuff to my face. So if you guys haven't seen my updated skincare routine, I mentioned Frank Body, and this is the face moisturizer. This is Smooth, an everyday face moisturizer. I use it both day and night, but this you can apply under makeup, and it is the best ever. I'm not sure if it has SPF. No, it doesn't. I already applied this, so I'm not going to apply it again, but this, I do not ever wear makeup or do not ever go a day without putting this on my face. So to prep my skin, I really don't use any primers just because I'm in disbelief that they really do anything. I've used primers before, but I didn't really see a difference in the way my makeup keeps intact when I just don't wear a primer. But I do see a difference when I spray Fix Plus all over my face before I apply, just because I know Fix Plus, I see a difference even when I apply it after I'm done with my makeup. So I'm just going to spritz some of this. So for these drier months, I'm going to be combining two foundations, and these are the two foundations that I'm going to be combining. So I'm going to be using this just for that problematic area, but I'm going to be using, my mom sells Avon, so I usually get Avon stuff, but I'm going to be using their Flawless CC cream. And I love CC and BB creams just because, like I said, in the heat kind of months, the summer and spring, I don't like to wear too heavy much of makeup, which is what Infallible will do, and you can definitely notice that it's heavier than the BB creams. So I like to usually wear these just to give my skin kind of a tint, and just so the coloration of my neck and my face isn't so noticeable. And these are very light, and these actually have SPF in them. This one has SPF 50, which is great. Usually some of these have only 15, and 50 is amazing. So I'm just going to put, this is Infallible again in the shade 107, and I'm just going to put a little bit on my hand, the back of my hand, the Avon one, and this is in the shade medium. And this is kind of lighter, so which is perfect because, like I said in my favorites video, that the 107 is just a little bit lighter, and I'm not going to put a lot of this CC cream either, just to kind of make it a little bit lighter, but to also give me that sunscreen. So I'm going to mix that on the back of my hand. So whatever is left over on my finger, I'm just going to put on my face. And then using a damp beauty blender, I'm just going to put this in. So I actually finally went to go get my eyebrows done, because if you can't tell, they're extremely thin, and I'm not used to this. So I hadn't gone to do my eyebrows in like 4 weeks, maybe, just because I finally saw that my hairs in my eyebrows are finally getting thinner, so I didn't really have to go get them done, but they just started getting like out of hand. I thought maybe I should just go clean them up. And so I went to go, and she completely like thinned them out. They just look so much more arched, so it makes me look like evil or something. It makes me look mad, because even my boyfriend pointed out, it makes me look mad, you mad or not? I'm like, shut up. But I was so mad, but I mean, it's okay. My eyebrows are naturally thick, so I know they'll grow out, but I'm like super mad at myself for even thinking I should go get them done because they weren't even that bad. Whatever. But as you can see, you can definitely see the difference between the Infallible alone, which in probably previous videos that I used just the Infallible alone, where now it's blended with the CC cream, so now it's kind of giving me more of a glowy effect, which is what I was going for, just because it's going to keep my face moisturized throughout these drier months, and that's what I was going for. That's why I'm using the CC cream, just because it has the SPF still, which obviously in California we're still going to have our sun, and it has the kind of oily effect, which will keep my face moisturized, whereas the Infallible just kind of dries out your skin, but that's really meant for when you're out so much in the heat, which is why I wear it a lot when I go to amusement parks or when I know I'm going to be out and I know I'm not going to be able to touch up, which keeps my face completely matte. And now it's still matte, which is perfect in my T-zone areas, my oily areas, but it's still going to give me that moisturized face. For concealer, I'm actually going to correct conceal with my NYX Conceal Correct Contour Kit. Taking the pinky kind of shade and mix it with like the top tan. Obviously, if you can't tell, these are the most ones that I use. And just kind of do it in the inner corners of my eye, because that's where I'm starting to get kind of purpley bluish areas. Yeah, I know. Luckily, for as much as I used to wear makeup, I haven't really gotten any like purple or bluish areas, but my inner corner is starting to get like that. So for concealer, you guys know the drill. I'm going to be using my Age Rewind by Maybelline, right? Maybelline? Yeah, Maybelline Age Rewind. And I am in the shade medium. I'm going to put this under my eyes, triangle. Know the drill. This is how you should be applying it. And then kind of just dot up there and dot on my chin. And then I'm going to use my Beauty Blender and the tip side, kind of the pointy side. And I'm just going to tap this, and I'm also going to bring it lower around my nose, because this is very blendable, so I didn't need to bring the concealer while applying it down to my nose. I could just blend it down. And I'm just going to blend this all out, and you want to keep blending your concealer. What I found out with concealers is you don't want to stop blending until you know that it's dry and it's well blended, because it could keep moving throughout the day, and which will cause the creases in your skin because you stopped blending when it was still wet. So that's why you want to keep blending until it is dry, until you know it's really set. And I'm also going to take that on my eyelids, just because lately I've noticed the Soft Ochre Paint Pot by MAC kind of still creases even after I apply most of my shadows, and I just feel like it's really heavy on my eyelids. I love it, don't get me wrong, I love Soft Ochre by MAC, but I feel like it's just something you should use if you're planning to do a smoky eye or not so much of a lighter look, which is typically what I do on the daily. So I've been just taking my concealer and putting it on the tops of my lids while I'm blending it. So now to set the concealed areas, I'm going to be using my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. I am by far so impressed and obsessed with this palette. So to set the under eye, I'm going to be using my MAC 138 brush, and this is just kind of a tapered brush. It looks like a huge crease brush, basically, and it just kind of has that tip to get into the inner corner of the eye. I'm going to be using these two shades. I'm just going to tap. Typically, on more of an event kind of heavy makeup look, I will bake, but this is, of course, my daily foundation routine, so I don't bake. And I'm going to be doing that in all of the areas that I highlighted, and I'm just going to lightly dust it. This is where you can obviously dust it, and I'm still kind of patting it, but I'm lightly dusting it. So now with the areas that I didn't set, I'm going to set them with my NYX translucent powder. This is the HD Studio Photogenic powder, finishing powder. This is obviously translucent. So I, of course, if you can't tell in some of my recent videos, that I go straight into just contouring and bronzing and adding blush without setting these areas. But I realized that when I set the other areas with the translucent powder, it makes it a lot easier to blend all the powders that are going on afterwards. I'm just going to set every other area before I start applying anything else. And again, I'm just going to do this lightly. You don't want to make it too heavy because you're obviously going to be adding other powders over. Around my mouth. And set the eyes. And to bronze up my face, I'm going to be using this big fan brush that came with my Naked 3 brush set. So these don't have numbers, these are just from the set. This is the biggest fan brush that came in here. And for bronzers, I'm going to be using both NYC bronzers. This one is obviously in the shade Fire Island Tan, and this one is All Over Bronze Glow. I have used the Fire Island Bronze, yeah, right, the Fire Island Tan in several others of my videos. Obviously you can see that I hit the pan already. And this one is what I was using recently over the summer, All Over Bronze Glow, to kind of giving me more of a contour without actually contouring, because if you can't see, there's like, you have your lighter bronze and your darker bronze and also the highlight shades. This is also what I use to contour my nose. But let's just bronze, and I'm going to kind of be blending these two together. So taking this and this, and to do this in the temples. You guys have seen me do this plenty of times before. You guys know the drill. And of course, this is all according to your liking and your face. So do what you do, girls. Baby hairs. So to actually contour, I'm going to be taking this kind of angled brush from, again, the Naked 3 brush set palettes, and I'm going to go back into my Shade and Light palettes and take the middle color, and I'm going to dust it kind of twice and really dust off the excess, because these shades are so pigmented, which is great but can also be a struggle when applying. So I'm just going to hollow out my cheekbones. So I'm going to be taking a smaller version of that brush that I used to contour. This is, again, an angled brush, and I'm just going to kind of focus it on these two shades, kind of a highlight shade and one of the lighter bronzy colors. So I love my nose the way it is, but I do sometimes just like to kind of give it more of a structure, so it doesn't look too flat, especially with all of these powders on my face. My favorite part about contouring my nose, though, is giving myself that ball at the end of my nose. So I like to just kind of curve over and just draw a little ball on my nose to kind of just make my nose look lifted, and again, just like a ball. So now I'm going to go in with my favorite blush. You guys know the drill. It is a Plum by Estee Lauder. Lancome, right? Lancome. Says it on the little brush in here. Very matte, very mauve, but still really bright pink. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Oh, wrong brush. From my Naked 3 brush set, I'm going to be using the blush brush in here. Dust it off. Make a little stupid smiling face. To kind of warm it up just a little bit, I'm going to put some on my nose, wherever else, to make myself look healthy, you know? Now for my favorite part, highlighting, all-time favorite part, I'm going to be using two MAC highlighters in Global Glow, which is my favorite because if you're tan to olive or anywhere with darker skin, Global Glow is the way to go. It gives you a very bronze J-Lo effect, which I love, 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 love. And I'm going to also be using Soft and Gentle. This one I know is a little more flaky, which is why I still stick with Global Glow. This is just a lot more pigmented than this is. Again, this is just a lot more flaky, which is why I apply this over the top of this, because this has a little more of a shine to it, where this is just more of a glow to it, which is why I blend them together. So I'm going to be putting this over the tops of my cheekbones, obviously. Like I said, this is really the thing that I go overboard with. I mean, not overboard, but just to my liking. Again, this is obviously all up to you. This is my liking. This is my foundation routine. See, I didn't even have to do like a daily makeup routine. This is like it. The only thing that changes is my eyelid colors, like my shadows. Other than that, my face, this is all of my go-to stuff right here. So now I'm going to be using Soft and Gentle. See how much more of a lighter this is if you can't see. This one really brings out the highlight on my nose. And then just grabbing a little bit and putting it on my Cupid's bow. And I have a makeup wipe. You always want to have a makeup wipe near when you're doing your makeup, just so that, again, if you get stuff like on the back of your hand when you're blending the foundation, you can take it off and you can keep wiping your hands, because you obviously want your hands to always be clean while you're doing your makeup. So I'm just going to wipe off my hands and then taking my finger on one of the clean sides and just wipe away whatever got on my lips, avoiding my highlight. Quick thing, I did not put this in the video because I completely forgot. I spray all of my face in the end with the Max Fix Plus to set in all of the powders, and this is just going to give you more of a slight dew finish, which is perfect. It's great, and this again also just keeps in and locks in all of the powders in your face so that it doesn't look like your face is too cakey and whatnot, and it just gives you kind of more of a moisture effect as well, which is great for, again, these drier seasons. So this is what I would be typically doing throughout these drier months. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, an in-depth foundation routine. This is what I do on the daily, obviously, and this is really what I focus on is my face products. My eyeshadows tend to change a lot, but obviously I can do tutorials whenever. This is just my updated, flawless foundation routine. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed, got something out of this. I hope you guys liked this. Give this video a thumbs up. You guys know the drill. Subscribe. Anyways, I will see you guys real soon. I love you guys all so much, and bye. Bye, guys.